Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Monday Night Therapy. I'm your host, Minnie Hunt, and with me is my very favorite co-host on Monday nights, Fred Sacco.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome. I am so grateful to Fred because I just reached out to him just like a few hours ago. I said, hey, if you're not doing anything tonight, want to join me? We're just talking about some Husker stuff. So
Easy enough. Even I can do
yeah.
it, I think, so we're good.
And look at how, guys, let's give him some props. He's wearing a vintage Husker shirt again.
It's like a lettered jacket or letter sweater style from the 90s. Yeah.
That is gorgeous. It's a good thing that Mo is not a huge Husker fan because I could see her borrowing that.
She's borrowed this one. She likes the look of a lot of them. She'll wear them. She doesn't talk about it, but she does. So, yeah.
Yeah, that would be mine for sure.
Very
I love
stylish.
It. Well, let's see here. We have a full show planned tonight. We're going to talk about some Husker coaches and players and where they are now. I kind of had this idea a while ago and was sitting on it for a while, because of the Scott Frost thing, him coaching at UCF again, and, with Mike Riley's wife passing earlier this year, I just thought, it would be nice to kind of take a look back, a stroll down memory lane and see where people have ended up. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but it's kind of interesting, I think.
No, works for me. I mean, we've had a number of people move on, and some did okay, and some did exactly what we kind of figured they'd do. So yeah, it's an interesting topic for the off season.
Okay, so we have Roger Moore here. He says, "Go Big Red." Hey, Roger, welcome. And Joe Lalakis, Husker Santa Claus. I don't even know what I should call you anymore. Should it be Santa Claus or just Joe?
Husker Claus, split the difference.
Husker Claus. And then Justin Raji. Hey, Justin. I bet you guys are excited. I know Justin is like literally counting down the hours to our first game. We have 52 days. That's it. Just 52 days.
Time flies. I mean, we're already in July. It's nuts.
I'm so excited. I can't even believe it. And it's just going to be right around the corner. And then I have guys, say hi to Doreen, please. She's actually an Ohio State fan. And I met her recently. She's such a doll. And she's here to say hi to us and join the fam. Let's see here.
Hello, Doreen.
Pit Snipe Husker. Good evening, all. And, Rostovsky's in the house. What's up, fellow kids? Now, I'm sure Rostovsky's really excited because didn't EA Sports come out with a new 2026 version this week?
Yeah, I think the new version dropped this week. Yeah, NCAA football. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what he's doing. He says playing some CFB 26 right now. I bet he took days off of work for this.
A lot of people do. It's huge. That's how I got my start watching this show, actually. John's Monday Night Therapy is I would watch it on one TV and I'd play my old NCAA 14 on the other. And I thought I'd been a fan for longer than I was, but I didn't join the comments until after like a year or so of watching and playing my video game because I couldn't comment because I was watching. And then I got into the point where John was just amazingly funny. So I had to start chiming in to agitate him. So yeah. Star was born, but it all started from NCAA football. So yeah.
There you go. Well, I have a little story about NCAA football. Connor, as you guys know, he moved here to Phoenix. Connor, the host of Corn Crazed, he calls me today and he goes, "Hey, did you go and get the Phil Still magazine?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Minnie, it just dropped 2 days ago. You have to go get it." And it's like 4:00 in the afternoon. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to the store right now to go get it." He goes, "Because you're always telling me you need more content. You need more." And I'm like, "I do. You're right." I went to get it, but look at how thick this is.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. Granted, there's not. I mean, it's really, really like detailed. And I already read the stuff on Nebraska, of course. Okay, it's a 2-pager. It's actually well done.
Mm.
Also, I also got these magazines. Like, I'm stocking up this year, okay? I have them all. And so I should get to know every Big Ten team there is by the end of the season with these magazines. Do you guys get those magazines? Does anyone?
I gave up on them long ago, but I used to buy them all. I'd buy the Athlon and the Phil Steele. I don't remember them being that
Lindy's?
large.
No, it's
There were some
huge.
that were like, they were called something different, and they had like extreme breakdowns of everything, and they were slightly larger. I don't remember the Phil Steele one being that much of a phone book, but who knows? I mean, I haven't bought a magazine in, gosh, 15, 20 years.
I know. I didn't even think this was a thing, but everybody talks about it. And I figure, okay, if I want to know what they're talking about, I better go. And this is cute. Thanks. Thanks, Pitt. He goes, noob. Well, come on, still the noob. 10 years later, and I'm still the noob.
That's how it
Bought her
works.
first off-season journal. So precious. You guys, don't give me a hard time. Hey, I'm trying. And then Roger Moore says, get Dylan to sign it. Okay, I have a little, I don't even know if I should make this announcement yet.
Yeah.
It's very likely that I will get to go to the Big Ten Media Days.
Oh.
Dylan's going to be representing Nebraska there.
Oh. Wow.
I know. Wouldn't
Like,
that be great?
it's
I'll
going to be
bring
like
it.
an international incident, but inside the country. That's exciting. Well, good. Hopefully you can get near him and snip
Hopefully.
from his hair and put it on your doll. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, I will. Just let me have a
Well,
little
that's
piece of
sweet.
your hair.
That's very cool. Congrats.
And then Daniel Williams from Facebook, he goes, there's still print media. I know. There still is. And they're doing quite well. I mean, they had like a ton of these 2 days worth, and it's almost sold out. Okay. Aaron Rostovsky says, Phil still is legit. He's the one guy that makes those magazines, that actually talks to local reporters and a lot of head coaches. The rest just makes stuff up. Oh. So he makes the rounds. Yeah, he does. He does say that on here. It says right at the bottom, the most accurate magazine over the last 30 years.
Mm.
It's quite the claim.
I don't know if Dylan could sign that though, because it's glossy and he probably just has crayons. And I don't know if that would go across on the gloss, but you can give it a shot. Maybe give him a Sharpie.
That's nice.
If you can handle it.
Nice. Yeah, we'll do that. We will do that. Okay, so last night I don't know, I mentioned it last week a little bit. I'm starting this other show with the Voice of College Football where I talk about college football in general on Sundays. And Tony was there, and so was Pit Snipe. And Tony was upset that he said there's not enough Badger besmirching. You know how he does that? So I promised him we'd start off with that tonight.
Okay.
Are you okay with a little Badger besmirching?
Besmirch away. Yeah. I mean, I'll have to throw some stuff together really quick, but I'm sure the chat can also help get us started. But yeah.
Well, one of the things that I noticed, remember we were looking at Wisconsin just maybe a month or so ago, and we're looking at their schedule, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they are in hot water. They play so many, like, I want to say ranked teams. I don't know if they're ranked already, but it does show that they have the worst schedule in the Big Ten. It says it in this, it says it in this, and it says it in this.
That could hasten Fickell's departure if they go poorly. It seems like they're bound and determined to do what Nebraska did, where they want to undo the way they had success, and they keep changing. And yeah, if he fails, Yeah, I think they have Bama to start. I mean, I know it's not Bama, but still better than
Alabama.
most of the teams they're going to play. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna take a beating, I think. And Luke Fickell and his skinny jeans are going to be probably on the hot seat.
Does he wear skinny jeans?
It looks like it. That time when he came across and was having security go after Coach Raiola, it looked like he had skinny jeans on, and I thought I can't take a guy seriously in skinny jeans. He allegedly was a wrestler, which is surprising because he just looks like a candy ass. But yeah, who knows?
That is such a good memory, Fred. I totally forgot that. You remember? That's right.
Yeah, I.
Luke Fickell was walking off Memorial Stadium
Mm-hmm,
field with 2 secure armed guards, and he told them to go after Coach Raiola.
mm-hmm.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't remember what the upshot of that was. Because Raiola yelled something at him, and then it was like a whole thing, and then the state troopers approached him, and then they let him go. But it was like it was everybody at the end said, "Oh, it was much ado about nothing," but something was going on at the time, and he seemed to initiate it because he's probably a coward. So it was like, yeah, I don't know what his deal is, but yeah, I hope they fail. Although
I
Tony
don't
wants him to have a 10-year extension, so that'll keep the misery going. But I'd say destabilize him, get somebody else in there, and start all over again.
I mean, they did give him a 6-year extension earlier this year.
Oh,
I know, right? But, it
that's
just seems like they're willing to pay
yeah.
anymore for head coaches. Like, I was just talking to somebody about this, and they're like, yeah, Auburn, for instance, is paying off 2 head coaches still.
Mm-hmm. It works like that. We led the nation, and they called it dead money back from I think from the time we got rid of Bo up through and like Callahan and Peterson and Bo and all the other people for money that we were paying people to not even be here, and it was called dead money. So it was like there was a stretch where we were number one in the nation in that. So it's like yet another thing we were good at that it's kind of ignominious, but yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't want to be good at that.
No, we need to get over that and quit doing it.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Okay, so we know that Coach Fickell is in his 3rd year, and the reason that he got hired at Wisconsin is because of his success at Cincinnati. But was that just lightning in a bottle? Seems like this happens all the time with the coaching carousel. Just because you're successful at one program, and usually it's like, a lesser conference. No offense, Cincinnati, but you're not going to be as successful generally
We
moving
saw
on.
that here with Scott Frost. So
Mhm.
although I wanted to believe just as much as anybody else that it would translate over, but sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it is a 1 year and you get all the right people in the right place and it happens. And I never thought that Fickell was some world beater. Like he took over at Ohio State briefly, and didn't do anything great, but he was interim. Um, and it was lightning in the bottle. He had his one little run and that was it. But anymore, that's all it takes for somebody to get a big job anymore. It's literally the flavor of the moment for so many of the coaches. And if a guy's hot, he gets the money and good for him. But yeah, I think he'll fail. He'll probably be gone. I think he'll get through this year, maybe one more year, but I don't see him doing anything great to keep that job and build on anything. So because their athletic department seems like it's ours. Ours was a lot of turmoil, a lot of people going different directions, and it's not sustainable. So yeah, and I'm glad because I'm sick of Wisconsin. They've been in the way a lot. I want them to fall apart for a while. We can hopefully surpass them.
Yeah. So Wisconsin has one of the worst schedules. Purdue has one of the worst schedules. And I forget the third one that I was reading in Phil Steele's magazine. But they're like, Rutgers. Rutgers. I feel bad for them because Rutgers and was the other one I just said? Rutgers
Purdue.
and Purdue.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't do well last year either.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they're going to be doing very well this year.
You know what? Good. I don't care. Let them suffer. Like they're not us. So
Really?
Yeah, it's not Nebraska. So there's no scraps in my scrapbook when it comes to that. And Purdue, they've gotten us a couple of times and they're nobody, and Rutgers is nobody, it's like, so let them burn. I mean, you weren't around in the early Big Ten days for Nebraska when we first got here, but we got the shit end of the stick and we got some pretty rough schedules as far as the way the Big Ten schedule set up repeatedly. And we had to deal with it and we got the hell beat out of us. So, to me, it's just like an initiation. You take your lumps, deal with it.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I like Greg Schiano. I like him.
He's a good coach. He's all right.
He is. He is. And he's, respectful. He's been there, 11 years? A long time. 6 years, something like that.
He brought him back, then he went away, and then he came back again. And
that's right.
He gave us a lot of praise when we beat him a couple of years ago. Not by a lot, but he said our defensive front seven was the best he'd ever seen. And he seems like a legit good guy. So, yeah, he's okay.
And then Purdue's head coach, Ryan Walters, of last season.
They
won one game.
Yeah.
And so they replaced Mr. Walters with, do you know who?
I don't remember, actually. I just remember his ginormous, oversized right arm that Walters had, which was very off-putting, but I don't know who they have now. Yeah.
Barry Odom is the new.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Ryan Walters moved over to Washington. So he's Jed Fish's defensive coordinator, which he did a great job as defensive coordinator.
Walters has always been a pretty good DC. So that's his way of going. And that's, we're going to talk about some of the former Husker coaches. And sometimes when you get back to a certain position or a certain coordinator spot, that's your best suit instead of running a whole program.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, the coaching carousel has continued as I guess we'll start with this guy. I'm going to add him to the stage. Mr. Bo Pelini. He's at LSU now. Did I lose sound? Are you there, Fred? Can you hear me? Did I freeze? Maybe he froze.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Yes. Oh,
okay.
That scared me. Yeah. Okay. So Bo Pelini's at LSU as the defensive coordinator now.
Well, not now, isn't it? I thought that was like 2020. I think he's out for good.
Yes. No. You're right. Why did I think? Okay, he's at Youngstown. Is that where he is?
Nope. He got fired here. He went to Youngstown State for about 3 years, and then he went to LSU again as D coordinator for the 2020 season. They got blasted, and he got fired after that. And last I recall, he said he doesn't see himself back coaching again. So I think he's done.
Fake news. Sorry, Pit Snipe. AI gave me the wrong information.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
No way. Bo cannot be back at LSU again. No, he's not. He was most recently at LSU as the defensive coordinator. So he's not doing anything now.
No, nothing at all. I don't know that he's coaching in any fashion whatsoever. He's not on TV. I think he's content to live off the juice that he made from his, severance here and probably whatever he got out of LSU as well. So, yeah.
That's one way to make money.
Yeah, he did. Well, and he got a great deal because when we fired him, I can't remember the number, but if he made under a certain number at his next job, he got to keep his buyout money from Nebraska. And Youngstown paid him literally $1 less So he kept getting every bit from us, and then the maximum minus enough at Youngstown. So he was literally double dipping for those 3 years there. It was, yeah. So good on whatever, lawyer set that up for him. So
I tell you, we gotta have agents. We do. We need, or a lawyer just writing our contracts, our work contracts. Could you imagine?
Oof, I could use that, I think a lot of us could. But yeah, I remember there was a lot of outrage because we were still paying him all of it, and there was nothing we could do about it, because if he would have made a certain amount over, then it would have ended, So yeah. And he didn't do great at Youngstown. I remember watching several of their games just as like a comedy type of scenario. And I mean, he did okay, but he didn't like win multiple championships or anything. So his days passed him by, and he even said he's not going to coach again. It's a different game. He couldn't survive in the nil game,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, he couldn't. He did not have the let's say the personality.
Well, yeah, and the wanting to recruit, he said he couldn't recruit at Nebraska, but then he goes to Youngstown State, like that's going to be anything. But then he said the fans were tough on him here at Nebraska, but what do you expect at LSU? There was a lot of disjointed talk out of that guy, and I wasn't sad to see him go, even though he won 9 games and all the rest. It was time for him to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Husker Bob says he's oiling bowling lanes and running shoes in Youngstown. And then it could, who knows? And then Justin always gives us the straight up facts. Says, I believe Bo is coaching high school football.
He would know. Yeah, that's possible. That's his lane, where you just get a coach and you don't have to worry about any of the other stuff. So, and like Pitt said too, Bo's defense didn't evolve. It didn't, and it was too rigid in the fact that so many people had to know what the other guy was doing on the defense. And if one guy made a mistake, like everybody had to play perfect at all times. And it was just, that's tough in the NFL when you got guys who've been around for years, let alone in college, So yeah, I enjoyed him for a time, but his time was past.
It's come and gone. Well, okay. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Bill Callahan. Now, this I do know is legit. He's the offensive line coach for the Tennessee Titans.
That's his most recent job, yeah. And prior to that, he's bounced around. He coached O-line at most of the NFC East teams. So he did like time at the Cowboys, with the Redskins, and the Giants too, I believe. And then he also was with the Browns and the Jets. So he's been around. But he's a guy, like I was saying, though, get somebody in their talent. His thing is mostly offensive line. Everybody says he's a great O-line coach. So he found his niche after, we got rid of him, and that's good for him, and he's another guy that made a lot of money by not having to work here. So.
Oh, did we pay him?
Yeah. They gave him the contract extension like the year that we fired him. So yeah, it was my favorite Bill Callahan memory was the day that he got fired, because my mom texted me at work and said, "Oh, honey, they fired him and Peterson. They're both gone." And I was so happy. And then I left work and I was walking down the street and people were smiling and they were like, "He got fired." So it was like, it was a big deal. A lot of people were happy.
Bill Callahan. Oh, what is this? Bo Pelini was fired in 2020. Oh, for working
From
at
LSU.
LSU. Yes. In fact, that the image I put up there actually says that he was there in 2020. And that was it. So it doesn't go beyond that. I don't know. I think I just wasn't paying attention whenever I put those.
For Roggy's question, if he got one more year, it would have he might have got to 500 or a winning record, but he was kind of the same deal as with the Raiders, where he lost the team. And I think he lost that team the year that, I think we went 5-7 and they fired him. And yeah, I don't know that he would have come back from that the next year any better. He had some great players, but if you can't coach them.
Yeah. And I was reading that his son is the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, Brian Callahan, so he gets to work with his son. How
Oh,
awesome is that?
I didn't even know that. Huh. Wow.
I mean, that's kind of what you want to have happen, right? As a
Yeah.
dad, like,
No, that's good. I didn't know his kid was even a coach. I don't pay attention to the NFL, so I knew he
right.
was with the Titans because I have a friend that just texts me random factoids about old Husker coaches and players, and so I know where Billy C's been, but I didn't know his son was actually the head coach. That's pretty cool. I don't know if they're any good, but
We did get that clarified. Nebraska strong. Go
yep,
Big
we
Red.
fixed it.
Thank
Nebraska
you.
strong.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
lied to Minnie.
I'm
So
not I'm not trying to spread false propaganda here. I don't want to do that to you guys. Besides, you guys all call me out if I get anything wrong. So
oh yeah, it
my
takes like
my
a half a
fact
second.
my fact checkers here. I love it. And then okay, so then we also have Mike Riley, and recently he joins the college football selection committee.
Yeah, he was the nice guy. He was when I finally like checked out because it wasn't even fun to make fun of Nebraska football anymore when he was head coach. Like it was just sad. Like with Bo, I could make fun of it because he was just ridiculous. With Callahan, it was the same thing. With Riley, it was sad. I could make fun of Bob Diaco a little bit because he was just a moron. But Riley, it was just like punching that uncle that used to sell cars and lost his job and just, lives in a trailer or something. It's like, it's not funny. And yeah, he was a good guy, but he was a 500 ball coach everywhere he went, and he did some time in all the weird leagues. He coached in that AAF it was kind of like a next level
Yes.
semi-pro league with San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
Then he coached with the Seattle Dragons and then the Washington Generals. And then he was the GM of the Generals, but then they didn't pull him over from the UFL. So,
Yeah.
and now he's on the committee. But I mean, he's a football lifer and everybody talks so highly of him, but just wasn't the guy. NFL, not Fred's league. That's good, Roger Moore.
That was good. Roger Moore also says Riley was a hardware store manager.
I could see that. And he
And
did win the Grey Cup back in like 1987 or 1990 or something. Yeah.
okay, okay, this is where I'm going to show my newbiness. What is the Grey Cup?
That's the CFL, the Canadian Football League, their championship. I
Oh,
can't remember if he was the coach of the Argonauts. Roggy, you'd probably know. The Argos or the Alouettes. I forget. But yeah.
in the CFL.
Yep, CFL.
Very cool. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe that was true because I think his wife was back still in Oregon for the most part while he was here. I'd heard that too. Wasn't quite sure about that. I mean, and he was almost the Alabama coach at one point back a few years before Saban. Like he's always been the guy that was almost there. And then, yeah. And I tried to buy all the hype that all the Husker people came up with back then too about, with the resources, he's going to do it here. It'll be better. And it just didn't work,
This does make sense. He was anti-Bo. Like, okay, I'm going to put this in perspective here. Like when a girl and a guy break up, the girl is usually like, okay, I'm going to go with the opposite of what he is. That's what Nebraska did. We're like, we don't like that boyfriend. We're going with this one.
and that's right. But also it was like kind of like a tonal shift that the team couldn't get used to because you go from that madman to this.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just too much. It's like when Kansas went from Mangino to Turner Gill because Mangino was kind of a psycho. And then Turner Gill was the, Bible beaten, steady, calm guy. And they went from one to the other. And it was too much of a shift for them to calibrate, I think. And yeah, it was just, Yeah, but yeah, Tony's right. Yeah, he was the opposite, and that's why they went. They wanted to get a guy that was a friendly face for the program because we had ranting, raving, crazy Bo that was on ESPN highlights for freaking out for 4 or 5 years.
I mean, it's fun to watch.
It was fun, and it's even more fun if you win when you're doing it. But when you lose, you just look like an asshole, and it's like it just didn't translate. If you can win, then good. But like Michael Hassman said, Eichhorst was a Manchurian candidate. Yeah, I feel like he was a plant from Wisconsin actually to destabilize us because they said he was a great athletic director and he should choose Riley, and I feel like it was just a plant to set us back another 3-4 years.
Seriously, what if? I mean, who knows? There could be like things like that going on that we just don't know anything about. It could happen, I suppose. What are you drinking, Fred?
It is. I don't have a graphic and a jingle like Greg, but it's a watermelon cider from Glacial Till. Really
Ooh,
good.
that sounds yummy.
Very tasty.
Look at you, just made Tony so happy. Fred, you're
There you
100% right. Dirty badgers.
Yep. Tony knows. I got his back.
I love it. Okay, well, I'm not going to talk about any other coaches. Other than, I mean, Frank Solich, it's nice that he came back. He's been entered into not only the College Football Hall of Fame, but also Nebraska's Football Hall of Fame. And he is now retired and just serving as an assistant to the athletic director at Ohio, the university, whatever that's called.
Yeah, the Bobcats, just Ohio U. Yeah, he brought them back. They hadn't done anything since the 60s, and he got them to a few bowl games and conference championships and stuff. So he did pretty good considering he had a pretty, bare cupboard to work with in a smaller conference. And he did about what you would expect Frank to do. So I was happy that he did well there. I wish we would never got rid of him, but that's a whole other show. So
I mean, he seemed like he was also Mr. Nice Guy.
No, kind of, but he was really quiet but like intense guy. He wasn't extra sprinkles if we win Mike Riley nice. Like he still did it the old fashioned way. He still made the players work, and it just when you're following somebody like Tom Osborne, it's probably not going to be the exact same thing, and it never would have been. But he did pretty good, and he should have got a little more time to see what happened. But here we are. Yeah, Pitt was right. Got a great landing spot because before Ohio, he contemplated going to coach at Army. And I don't know that would have been as good because it's tough to win there, So going to Ohio was probably the best bet for him. And I think he was an Ohio guy anyway, so it worked out well. I think you froze again, Minnie, or it's me. I don't know. Somebody's froze. Chat, who is it? Oh, it was Minnie. I guess I'm on my own. Yep. Froze or grows from Roger. Maybe there's some kind of initiation thing and they're going to put me on here and make me talk to everybody and face my accusers. Now it's time for you guys in chat to be bad. So just come up with all the bad stuff you want to write, and I'll try and read it as quickly as I can. Yeah, froze, Minnie froze. Frank, tough as nails, for sure, from Pitt. Roger said, let's go. He got the memo that we're all going to be bad now for the next 5 minutes till Minnie gets back.
I apologize.
There she is. She's back.
Honestly, this happened to me last night, and I think it's because on that other show I told you I was doing, they had me download a browser that I probably shouldn't have. I haven't looked anything up, I promise. Nothing I shouldn't be like Googling or Greggling on the internet, but it's like ever since then, now I'm just having problems left and right. So I hope I didn't freak you out too much.
What browser did you download?
Brave? Have you
Never
heard of
heard
it?
of it. No.
Yeah,
I
I
Well,
shouldn't.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
Perpetually indignant. I don't know who this guy is either. His title should say like the only other option after everybody else was gone, but yeah.
What does it say?
Oh, it was oh yeah. Oh, that's true, Hassman. That's exactly true.
Devaney and Osborne spoiled the fan base. The last 2+ decades have been rough to say the least. Hopefully, they are finally turning the corner under Rhule. You know, CBS Sports put out this article saying the worst coaching hires in the last since the turn of the century. Nebraska has 3 coaches on the list. 3.
Oh. So what was it? Callahan, Riley, and Frost?
Mm-hmm.
That tracks. Aaron Keene, what do you think? I'm perpetually indignant. I see you in the chat.
Yeah.
I buy that. I mean, you can't argue with it, really. I mean, terrible results for us and for anybody, really, losing seasons and just embarrassing losses. I mean, each of them had some just horrendous, ignominious defeats. So, yeah, I can't take too much offense to that. It sucks we get to that point that we're being talked about that way. It's painful.
I think both Pitt and Michael say that the Brave browser is fine.
Oh.
I think it's because I have an Apple computer. You know, I think that you have to use like certain browsers for this particular thing that we use, the StreamYard.
Possible.
Yeah.
Maybe it works better for StreamYard. I've never even heard of that browser, so I'll have to check it out.
I have no idea. But now I'm having all kinds of problems. So I wish I knew more about computers. That's all I know.
You'll figure it out someday. It's okay.
All right. Perpetually indignant, Aaron Keene says, Callahan wasn't the worst in my opinion. Riley was bad because no stats supported it. Frost was bad because of results too.
Yeah, that's true. Callahan at least got us really good players for Bo to use up, and then Bo couldn't get better players and all that. So Callahan at least kind of set the table for him. So I could give him that.
Husker Bob, Colorado had 2 on the list. Purdue had 2. Yeah, we had a lot. We had more than our fair share. Let's just say that. When we need to turn things around, things are turning around. I mean, everything I've read, everything says, in fact, I can share this. We're poised and red. Poised.
Oh, she said the words, everybody. If I had a Mac, I would do something, and then it would make like fireworks, but I don't have those superpowers. But Minnie said poised, so
it works. Oh, there we go. Balloons.
Still time. I will buy a lottery ticket when the show is over. So Minnie said poised. If we get moist and groin, I'll buy 2 lottery tickets. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is this? Okay. I'm going to share my screen.
Neuheisel wasn't on the list, Keen. I can't see that because he at least kind of did okay. But yeah, he was a bit weird. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yes. USA Today rankings. Here are the top quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
Ooh.
I know. Look at our boy, number 3.
He's not my boy, but it's good that he's number 3. He's Minnie's boy.
He's the reason why they have him as number 3 despite, having 11 interceptions, 13 touchdowns, et cetera, there were obviously better stats by other quarterbacks in the Big Ten last season. But it's because of his jump that he's expected to have as a sophomore and his wide receiving core that was upgraded, right? You have an Isaiah Hunter, Dane Key, Ja'Cory Barney Jr. is going to be a sophomore this season. So we have, and Heinrich Harburg, tight end. And then also our offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen.
Those are good factors. I think that'll help him a lot, and stability, and having a whole portion of last season and a bowl game and an off season with Holgersen's, play calling, got a quarterback coach to work with them, allegedly better offensive line, more weapons, like you said. He should have better numbers. Hopefully we have more wins to go along with that too.
Mm-hmm. And Tony says 1 and 2 are seniors. I believe you are right. In fact, Illinois has more returning players than anybody. They have like 19. Well, Illinois is stacked.
They are. And yeah, and I don't like him. I like to make fun of him, Bielema, but he's got a stacked team as far as, veteran players, and he just plays simple football. So they could actually do some damage. Hate to say it. I mean, not like the damage he does, like when he sits on a chair, but they could do some damage in the conference.
Yeah. But I find it interesting. Okay. So number 4, we'll just bypass number 1 and 2 because they, like Tony said, they're seniors. Dylan's a sophomore. Then number 4, they have Dante Moore, which is kind of, hopefully it's really his first season starting all games at Oregon.
But that's kind of that just established type of program thing where they've been pretty good, and a lot of people probably figure you can just plug some other quarterback in there and he's going to do well. I think that's its recency bias, if nothing else.
Roger, this ranking did not come with Kool-Aid.
I did like what Keene said earlier, or perpetually indignant. He said Dylan still ended up sliding 2 spots shy of the top. So
really? Is he ever going to live this down?
If I would have been in chat, I don't know that I would have got that, actually. That was pretty sharp. So
that was. I didn't even see it. He also calls Illinois Illinoising. Well, somebody's drank their coffee today. Oh, Kaylee's here. Hey, Kaylee. She says, go Big Red. I made it. I'm not a fan of OSU, but if Julian Sain is good, they're going to be a major player again on the national stage. Okay, what do we have to say about this? I'll let you go first, Fred, because Julian Sain's a freshman.
I don't know anything about him. But again, it's they're a football factory. If he's good and they have the weapons around him, but it's tough to have a freshman come in and just take over the reins. But the thing with Ohio State is they're loaded at everything usually. So if they got time in the start of the season, they can run the ball. Running game's his friend, get him acclimated, that type of thing. So, it's a stupid thing. They don't rebuild, they reload and all that. It's kind of where they're at. So yeah, if he's good, they're going to do well, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know nothing about the kid. Hopefully, he sucks. But yeah.
Nebraska Strong says, unfortunately, the Buckeyes have top 2 receivers in the country, so odds are Julian Sain's favor. Yeah. Yes. And don't they have a backup quarterback? Well, supposedly Julian Sain's supposed to start, but backup quarterback is Lance Lineholds or something like that.
That sounds right. Yeah.
He's a red shirt.
And again,
yes,
he'll be good. They have a system in place there, and that's something that we're trying to build towards, and hopefully we can get. Yeah. And again, I don't know a lot of the people on the list. I've heard of a few of them. Well, then the number 6 is the one that makes me laugh because that's that kid that left Tennessee because he wanted to make more money, and then he took like a pay cut and he went to Tennessee and he went to UCLA, and then they like flip flop quarterbacks, and yeah.
I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
That in and of itself, I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about that story, but I mean, really,
Well,
that just doesn't happen anywhere.
that's the danger that all these players have now is they have like way too many handlers and trainers and people that work with them and that uncle that knows something, and they keep pushing for them to make money, and those people pushed him out of making good money at Tennessee on a better team, arguably a slightly better conference, to go to UCLA, like, and make less money. So careful what you wish for.
Yes. What did he call him? Kleinholz. That's his last name. Lance Kleinholz. Yeah. Really? Oh, Jose. I didn't realize that. So Julian Sayin was committed to Ohio State, and so was Dylan Raiola. And that's the reason why Dylan decommitted, because he wanted to make sure that he got playtime on the show. And they probably wouldn't guarantee it.
Made sure that he got playtime.
Well, that's all that matters. He did get it.
Yeah, he sure did.
Stop it. I don't even know what I said, but it made you chuckle.
Just going to leave it there, and everybody else can figure it out. So
good. Okay. And then, okay, so yeah, you mentioned Nico I'm a leaving. UCLA.
Oh, about the Indiana kid. Kleinholz. Okay. Not the other one. Not Sayin. Sayin's younger. Okay, Kleinholz. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Jose. Okay. And thanks for clarifying. I wasn't sure which Dylan decommit we were talking about.
Yeah, after a while, you got to kind of get a whole like schedule of them or a playbook or something. It's like I've lost track as well. So
it sucks. I mean, I'm sure it sucks, especially for you guys that have been fans for such a long time, to have the system that you're used to, and now you're like, wait, now who's coming to Nebraska and who's going there and why'd they decommit and why? It is a nightmare. I get that. It's drama that I like, but it's a nightmare.
Drama's fun, but then when it impacts your team and its fortunes, it's not fun. So I think that's where some of us get a little frustrated with all of that. But that's just me.
Nebraska's strong. Also drink his coffee.
Wow.
He says, but cutting down on 11 picks and 27 sacks is a big if. It's a huge if.
He should be able to cut down on all of those. He's going to have a more well-coordinated offense that makes sense and gives him good throws to make. That should help alone, So I don't think he'll have some 11 picks, The sacks, who knows? But he should have less picks. I'll give him that.
I think he will. He'll definitely have less picks. The sacks, I mean, if you don't take my word for it, take Haas's. Haas said this is the best offensive line that we've had since 2006.
Okay. I mean, I remember that he said that, and I watched that show, and that's cool, but I don't know. I need to actually see it happen in front of me. Games without false starts, games without costly penalties at the wrong time, and awful sacks. And hopefully they've also coached him when he should actually scramble, because sometimes he took too much faith in the offensive line and just stood back there way too long. And that hurts too. And so some of those are on him, So yeah, overall it'd be more well coordinated, you would hope.
All right. Kaylee brings up a great point. And I also want to say, I get on these tangents because I'm like, oh, Nebraska's strong. he probably knows where Kleinholz is from because he's also from South Dakota. Maybe they're probably cousins, guessing. And then Michael says, Nico did not go to UCLA for the football. That is for sure. The money and the women is more likely. Well, the money wasn't, he didn't get, according to what was reported, he didn't get paid as much as he was getting, what he was trying to get at Tennessee.
No, he took a pay cut. I mean, I'm still getting good money, but I believe overall he did take a little bit of a haircut with it. I can't remember how much, but it wasn't the ridiculous amount that he was hoping to get when he tried to force that on Tennessee.
I love how Justin always stands up for Dylan also. It's not a big if. You have to be crazy. It isn't a big if. Because we know the pieces that we have now. They just need to do what they're supposed to do.
That's a big if too.
What? Okay, so Kaylee says, Kaylee, the voice of reason. She says, even if he has 11 picks, but 10 more touchdowns, which this is Holgerson's specialty, is upping the scoring. It's an improvement. It's about ratios and production, not statistic numbers alone.
That makes sense. I'll buy that.
I agree. We just need to score more.
But the picks too, what kind are they and when are they? Are they at awful times of the game? Are they pick sixes? Are they, drive killers and game killers? It's like, we got to get that off of our back too with the ill-timed everything, which seems like we've still had for quite a while now. So I'm all for more touchdowns. That'd be great, but I'd like to keep those picks to a minimum.
Me too. I think that would be really great. But we're not talking about Dylan anymore because guess what this article is actually called? Nebraska's Dylan Raiola ranked third best Big Ten quarterback by USA Today. So we'll keep that in mind. Okay?
I'm keeping it in mind. It's all up here.
So we have Fernando Mendoza for Indiana. We're not playing Indiana, so who cares, right? And then Jaden Mayava as number 8. So this is interesting. Do you remember last season? We went to USC, and before we went, there was a quarterback issue. Lincoln Riley decided that he's going to bench his starting quarterback that he had all season, and he was going to start this guy.
Yeah, that was master stroke on his part. Yeah. That's the thing that still gets me is we make so many first-time starters or the backup just come in and look like Captain America. It's painful. Even with our decent defense, it was just, I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, it was tough.
I thought for sure there's absolutely no way you can switch a starting quarterback mid-season and go in and beat us. I'm still scratching my head wondering how that happened.
That is the mystery that is Nebraska football. It's always going to be something until it's not.
Seriously. It's still killing me. It haunts me.
It's rough.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have, this is interesting. Number 9, Bryce Underwood of Michigan. He's ranked number 9. I did not expect to see him that low because everyone is talking so high. I mean, they're saying like he's the next coming of,
Well, did he play last year? I don't remember. I didn't follow anything. So it's like, again, no production, no film. So when you get to the point where people haven't played, a lot of it, I think, is just guesswork. They have to put these lists out for something. So, grain of salt. Number 15 for Northwestern, that sounds like a quarterback that would go there. Preston Stone. He just sounds like he would be a hit at the car wash. So Preston Stone, the adult film star. But anyways, I wonder what Tony thinks about Drake Lindsay, if he's any good.
Yeah, tell us, Tony. Actually, you know what? If you guys are so inclined, I mean, I forgot to do this earlier, but I will put a link to the show if you want to. Just call in. If you have a question or comment, you're welcome to do that. Tony, that means you too. Yeah, no, I am curious what he thinks about the Wisconsin quarterback.
That's also a good question from Husker Bob. Is Maryland not playing with the quarterback? I don't see a Maryland quarterback on there.
Oh, let's see. It's way down here. No, they missed him.
Wow.
Isn't that hilarious? Oh my gosh. I'm sure I have it in my notes. That is so funny.
That's bulletin board stuff. Maryland's going to get mad and maybe they'll win like 6 games next year instead of 5.
I don't know. I think that's really sad, though. Did they really?
Well, there's 17 quarterbacks, so yeah.
Yeah. So Tony says he's a redshirt freshman, big kid, big arm. Gophers need to run. Okay. That's scary. They're starting. They have a redshirt freshman also.
Oh, Wisconsin's quarterback is a transfer from Maryland. Oh, okay.
That's right. That's right. Actually,
so they just
will switch.
You just got nothing then, I guess, if you're Maryland.
I'm gonna present this then.
Yeah, I agree with Nebraska strong. It's, a few firsts here and there. It's a little questionable. Oh, grimy offense. What the hell's that?
Yep. Okay, so this goes into, they switched offensive coordinators. So after the air raid fell flat, and then they talk about, this was just posted right before we came on.
Oh, okay.
I was reading it a little earlier. Says Billy Edwards, he was able to sit down and talk with some people, but he is the Maryland quarterback. Who did Maryland get, though?
Apparently it doesn't matter. It's just not in the article. That also is kind of like, why would you go? I mean, Wisconsin wasn't awesome, but they apparently could still pull that kid from Maryland over, which
they paid him. They had to have, right?
Yeah, well, of course, but it's like still, it sounded like they weren't doing a lot with their nil in Wisconsin. So, but maybe Maryland's doing even less or has even less for football. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That is kind of crazy. So, poor Maryland.
Yeah.
Mike Locksley.
He seems like he's a good coach, and they usually do okay. So it's like he's one that I don't have any ill will. He's not one of the trash talker teams that we deal with. So hopefully they get somebody that's good and they do well enough, just not against us.
All right. There was one other. There were 3 other players that I just wanted to touch on before we left, because I just found this out today. This is actually really kind of tugs on my heartstrings. I didn't realize that, well, I'm going to not do the one that tugs on my heartstrings yet, if that's okay. But one of my favorite players during the time that I've been a fan. Now, don't make fun of me, you guys, please. But during the time I've been a fan, he was probably the most outspoken player about playing for Nebraska and just that heart. I just loved him. And I didn't realize that he's in the UFL. He's playing for the San Antonio Brahmas.
Who is
Garrett
that?
Nelson.
Garrett Nelson?
Yes.
Ah, huh. I didn't know he's still playing. Oh, good for him.
I know. It's pretty exciting.
No, he was a good one. He played hard. He was reminiscent of some of the old good players. Maybe they weren't the 5-star people, but he busted his ass and did the best he could. So yeah, that's good. He's still playing ball.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I do. But I don't follow the UFL at all.
No,
But I just think it's really great that he was able to continue on with this in particular, like
no,
the
that's
sport.
good. Good for him.
Yeah, and then another one is one of the quarterbacks that I fell in love with, that made me fall in love with Nebraska, because he got injured, and that's Tommy Armstrong Jr.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him? Because have you been to any of the Omaha? What are they called? Omaha Beef.
Oh, so he plays for the Beef now. Yeah, I've not been to a Beef game in a long time, but that's cool. He's here. I heard that he might be playing for him.
He played for them for quite a few years. He retired. Then he
Ah,
came back and he finished out the last 3 games.
oh, nice.
Um, but now he is coaching down in Texas. He has a Tommy Armstrong Jr. quarterback camp
Oh,
in New Braunfels, Texas, which is right just outside of San Antonio.
interesting.
I
Oh,
know. Don't you wonder if these people like meet each other somehow?
well, everybody has connections. It's brotherhood of coaches and players, and if you're good or decent, and we've seen him. I'm not saying anything about his coaching ability, but we've seen people with far less resumes get good jobs. So no, that's cool. He's doing something like that and
Mm-hmm.
shaping young minds, and teach them how to chuck the ball deep and hope it lands in the right spot.
Well,
Kind of how it works.
when you have Mike Riley as your head coach, I suppose, and then right before the NFL draft, he switched positions to wide receiver, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean, you got to make the best of what you have.
yeah, he was a great athlete, and and again, he wasn't helped by upheavals of coaches and systems and players, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And another one is the Tommy Frazier.
yeah.
Now, I know that he never had an NFL career, and he didn't really do anything with football other than he was a high school coach at Doane High School, I think.
No, that was
Um,
a smaller college here in
was
Nebraska.
it a
Yeah,
smaller college? Okay.
mhm.
Well,
He didn't
so he
do well.
coached them for, I think, 2 years, and
Hmm.
he's been, in and out of doing some media stuff for years. He lives there in Omaha. I watched a podcast on the National Football Foundation recently where they interviewed him and they talked about his relationship with Lawrence Phillips.
Hmm.
And honestly, it's going to make me cry. He talked about, having access these days now to mental health and professionals that help the players. And, it's too bad that Lawrence Phillips didn't have that access back then. And that because of that whole thing and his life being shaped by that, he started a business with somebody he played football with, Dwayne Harris.
Yeah, yeah, he was a defensive end on one of the championship teams. Yeah, really good player.
It's called Novel Care. And what it does is it helps individuals with learning disabilities and just
Oh,
need help. I know, and it's right
oh,
there in
cool.
Omaha. Isn't that neat?
Nice. No, that's cool. I didn't know he had that going on with Dwayne Harris, but yeah, they were on. I think Dwayne Harris is on the first of Osborne's championship teams. Yeah, really good D end.
Yes, James, you're right. Um, Tommy Frazier had problems that kept him from playing beyond college. He did. He had the blood clots, but you know what? He has a healthy daughter and son. His daughter, he said, is 18, just graduated from high school, and his son is 22. Just sounds like he has a nice little life there. I don't know. I think we should try and reach out to him and have him on the show someday.
That'd be something. You should get him and Rostovsky on at the same time, because I know Rostovsky doesn't like him.
But does Rostovsky count? Does he count? Because he wasn't a fan. I mean, when you're what was he, a Miami fan?
Yeah, but for baseball. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just stirring the pot. I don't, it'd be cool if he was on here. I would definitely sign up to watch that one.
Yeah. Okay, we have somebody to join us. I'm going to add him. Jackson. Why is it not at the stage?
It's Double J.
I can't. Is he at it?
I don't see him. I just see me.
I'm in here.
There he is.
But so far, let's see. Y'all can hear me, but I don't think the audience can see me yet.
Okay.
If it's a drain on the database thing, I can bounce.
Oh, is it?
If you want to, if it is, because I know sometimes you have problems.
Nah, that's not it. It's on the screens, I think.
He does this all the time. Jackson is an Alabama fan, you guys. And Alabama has I don't even know what 5-6 recent 5-star recruits in the class of 2026.
Oh, we got 4 5-stars now.
4 5-star recruits in the class of 2026.
Yeah.
Just bam, just in the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're just smacking everybody off face the earth at the moment. I told people that Alabama's coming back in the top 5. It's if you're panicked about Bama being in top 30, don't worry, they're back in the top 5. I mean,
okay, just settle down. Remember where you are. We've been there. We've heard it all. Our fan base is a little traumatized.
Jaded.
We've got the whole thing. Yeah, we had a very similar situation to what Alabama has. The Tom Osborne was legendary coach, and then you get a great coach right after that, Frank Solich, but it just isn't the same thing. I wonder if Kalen DeBoer is going to have the same situation at Alabama. History tends to repeat itself.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's Matt Rhule. We know he's gonna make that 3rd-year jump. Oh, I love that cup, by the way. Sparkly.
Thank you. I like sparkles.
Who doesn't?
Well, do you think you can figure it out and get on here, or did you have a comment?
Let's see. Which bots are you looking at for StreamYard? That's below the screen. Hold on. Which do you see? Which are you on right now?
Which what?
Yeah, which bot? Yeah, you'll see a little screen bots that's under the screen.
Yeah, Jackson Johnson. Yeah.
No, but above me.
Oh, that. Oh, there's not room for you. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not in the room.
Let me just add. I didn't realize.
Oh, you're good. No worries.
There you are. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was my bad. I will move. All right, we're gonna just save.
There he is.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. They just changed StreamYard just today. I noticed.
Oh man, again?
I know.
Oh, and yeah, I'm looking at the style. So I'm looking at another StreamYard on the Voice College Football StreamYard. I'm looking at the style. That's where it's at. and I'm looking at the presets, so that is where we're at.
Nice. Okay. Well, what's going on? Do you have a football comment or question?
Just came to spread the word that's only 52 days until kickoff for the Nebraska Cornhuskers on ESPN.
I think
Nice.
Justin Raji actually said it was 51 days, and what did he say? He had it down to the hour.
And a half hour, I believe he had, but by that point, we might be down to 51 days and I don't know, 10 minutes. It's been a bit, so yeah.
Isn't that exciting? Okay, guys, we got to make our
plan. That quick, so yeah, I'm not ready. I haven't got all my bile and apathy out of me yet, so yeah.
I think Mart's doing his top 24-hour live stream for week 1 on that one. Like he does like an annual thing for yeah, he's been doing that. Let's see. So there was one 2021, 2022. 2023 was hilarious because like Jeffrey and Corey Brad had gotten in some debate about Frost. It was just so funny. Like, not once but twice. It was just so funny. And somehow we got Mark talking about westerns, like the Big Valley, which that was pretty funny. And 2024 was hilarious as well. Yes, I have tremendous confidence in Coach DeBoer. But if Alabama's going 9-3 or worse in 2025, I'm going to have plenty of questions. That I can promise you.
I know. I mean, I see what you guys are doing over there on your channel. This is like hype time. You guys, Husker fans, you think that we are serving up some Kool-Aid? You should see what they're serving over at Alabama. I know that it seems like they have like more to go off of, but do they really? I don't know.
Sounds like us if they're talking about Big Valley and Westerns in the middle of a football show. I mean, that's pretty much on brand with everything I've ever seen on this channel since I've been watching since 2021 or 2. So yeah, that sounds like a fun place to be.
I'm always making sure I can think of some references of some kind, whether it be 90s cartoons, 50s, 60s, Westerns, or anything that's currently on television.
You would get along great with my co-host on Thursdays. That's all he does.
He's a Southern Greg. Yeah, that's great. It's like his doppelganger from the South.
Alabama Greg. Michael Hassman says the off season is way too long. I could not have said that better.
Don't worry. It's only 47 days until week 0. And when it's midnight, 46 days.
Okay. I'm not worried. But it does feel like the longer the off season is, the more I end up hating other teams, you know? Like my list is growing.
Good. That's part of being a Husker fan. You got to hate everybody. So good for you. I have to get into season when I start hating, because it's like then I start really watching, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm over Colorado already because of Deion, you know, or I'm sick of this team, or I'm sick of Miami, and or Texas or whoever. They're in my triumvirate of hate. So once the season gets rolling, that's when I start compiling my list of teams I want to.
Oh, Miami gets on my last nerves because all they got is what they did in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, but they haven't won the ACC since they joined in 2004, and they had a chance to get to the ACC title on November 9th, and then blew it against Georgia Tech and Syracuse. That's bad.
And they brag so much, and literally there's like 8,000 fans at their games. It's atrocious. It looks like a UFL football game. Like there's nobody there. And they think they're just amazing. And it sucks. I have a good friend who's a Miami fan. We're the same age, so he followed him through all the end. He always gets scoreboard on me, but I'm like, yeah, but what have you done lately? Like, not much more than us. You know, it's like, yeah, I can't stand Miami. They'll never. They could be playing like Cold War Russia in football, and I'd probably root for the Russians just because I can't do it. Just can't.
This is good. Okay, so Douglas Cody says I live in Sylacauga, Alabama. I recognize the accent. I grew up in Nebraska, though. How do you say it?
Sylacauga sounds like a slur. That's just dirty.
Nebraska.
Sylacauga. Are you familiar with that place, Jackson?
No, that's the first I've heard of it.
Oh.
That sounds like a medicine advisor Christian would take.
It's so weird though, where it's like I see a few places in the state of Alabama. It's like, wow, that's the first I've been into this area. That's nuts.
Kaylee says it sounds like you hate Miami almost as much as I bet you hate Kirby Smart and Auburn, the color. It's pretty clever.
Don't give her any ideas, Keen. I ain't wearing any wigs, so no Monday Night Therapy theater for Fred.
Oh,
although I said if given the opportunity, I would play Minnie at some point because I could probably play a better Minnie than Minnie. Mark it down, Jackson. Put it on whatever your Alabama notepad is.
Yeah, no, I'm still scratching my head over what you meant when you said even Minnie gets out of character sometimes. What does that mean?
I don't know when that was. I must have missed that episode.
Hey, if everybody in chat, if you don't like Minnie, that's a you problem.
No, oh no. But this is coming from Fred, right here on the screen.
Here.
It's okay. And I wanted to say Nebraska Strong brings up, he wants to bring us back down to reality. He says, so from 2015 to 2011 with Riley Frost and Mickey Josephs, our Huskers were an absolute pathetic 37-56. 25-45 in the Big Ten play. Yikes. And that is 8 years of garbage football. And that is the majority of my Husker fandom.
Jackson, do you ever foresee a point that Alabama could get to that in your lifetime? What we just said there.
Oh, I saw closest day was the DeBose era when I was an itty bitty baby.
Okay.
And the Shula era.
Oh, Shula was, that was a mess. I remember Shula, yeah.
But I will say, in a way, I'm thankful the Sheila era happened because if it didn't happen, we wouldn't have the Saban era. So I think the way I look at Nebraska is going to look at the same way. It's like, yeah, it sucked that you had the Frost era, the Riley era, but you're going to be very happy that it took the bad times to get to the good times with the Matt Rhule era.
This is my way of thinking too. My brother's a Wyoming's Cowboy fan.
Oh, wow.
And his Cowboys were doing pretty good for a while. And then they the team got demolished. Like people, other teams started taking players off of their team. And then their coach left and they got a crappy coach. And that's exactly what I said to him. You have to have like those down times. Of course, I'm always looking for a reason to be optimistic in order for the sun to come out the next day, right? Hang in there.
It's like that little song that you hear on SpongeBob, "Living in the Sunlight." There you go.
Well, about the sun coming out is the line that they said when we got beat by Arizona State in '96 because we'd won like 26 games in a row. In Channel 6, they were like, well, the sun came up Sunday morning, even though most Nebraska fans felt like it wouldn't. It's like it always comes up, but your team still sucks sometimes, and you just got to deal with it. So it's my takeaway.
Fred, you just sound so jaded.
Get kicked in the nuts for 20 some odd years, you'd be jaded too.
Yikes, my dude.
Okay. I'm crying on the inside. It's all good.
Thank you, Justin Raji. He says that's the past, Husker Strong. The 8 years of garbage football, that's in the past. We're now looking up. We're looking to Matt Rhule. This is his third year, breakthrough year. He's changed so much. Everything that he saw go wrong last season. Somebody asked me today, what's Ed, when I was getting ready for this show, what's Ed Foley up to? I'm like, no, he's still around. He's still around.
Yeah, they kept him. That's right. I forgot. We Maybe they just have him there asking him what he would do, and then we just do the opposite. I think that's probably what his job is, like cautionary tale. But yeah.
That's funny. And Pit Snipe, or excuse me, Aaron Keene says, I did not have a SpongeBob reference on today's bingo card.
Well, we get in the off season, folks.
Wait until you meet Jeffrey. Like, he's got a lot of those references. Like, you'll get a big kick out of him.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Tony says, hang in there is right. My team won a national championship just a while ago in 1960. Tony,
Man,
you can't come here crying about your team. Okay, we have no sympathy for Minnesota here.
But your coach looks like an Emmy Award, so that's pretty cool. So, PJ Fleck.
Man, last conference title they won in the Big Ten was 1967. That was when we just started getting to color TV.
Way to rub it in there, Jackson. I'm sure Tony's enjoying that.
I didn't mean it like that.
Nah, that's all right. I would have meant it like that if I was you.
But if it does make it feel better, it's the same way for Indiana football.
It's true.
I don't think that would make me feel better. Minnesota is a little better than Indiana football.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Kurt Sidney's rolling with that team, he's getting them rocking and rolling. I mean, he's not leaving Indiana. Like, this is his last place. He's retiring. He's probably going to start a, I win Google Me podcast.
Let's see. Never mind me says Joel Klatt has Nebraska as a surprise team to make the playoffs. Well, Joel Klatt, what do you think?
He usually is pretty fair for us. Like, a lot of people like to punch on us, but he's actually, I don't know if I agree with them, but that's nice to hear.
You've seen our schedule.
Yeah, but I've seen this movie before, as Scott Frost used to say. So here we are.
I mean, the win over Wisconsin and the win in the Pinstripe Bowl set up a lot of momentum for 2025 for Nebraska.
Look at you knowing what's going on with Nebraska. Good job, Jackson.
Thank you. I made sure to I watch like an investor.
Well, on that note, Tony says, will you guys just please crush Wisconsin?
Will do.
Oh, yeah. You'll kill him. No doubt.
That's going to be an interesting game. We will all be watching there. When do you guys play Wisconsin?
That's going to be on week 3 on September 13th on ABC, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, I believe. Or it's going to be like an 11 a.m. game, but either. No, it's 11 a.m. My mistake, because we're in the crappier slot. But just to like make it a bright side, I want Sean McDonough to call the game.
Yeah, he's good.
That's the thing I don't like about like the Big Ten not having that part of the ESPN contract anymore, is they're missing out on Sean McDonough calling some of their games, but that's just me.
No, he has a level of gravitas that a lot of them don't. And yeah, a lot of times I don't even listen because I'm in a sports bar, so I can't hear who's commentating anyway.
Yeah, Boardman brings up an excellent point, because like Minnesota, they were winning natties at the same time Donald Duck first appeared in 1934. So, I mean, that's huge.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. That's interesting. But he says Minnesota was a national power in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Then they had over 30 years of pain. Hopefully our pain is a few short years. And then Douglas Cody with probably, actually, you know what? I'm going to screenshot this. I love this quote. Thank you, Douglas Cody. He says, Osborne always said to focus on the hunt, not the capture. Is that Willie?
Yes, it is Willie.
Willie
broke into my room.
Hey, Willie.
Okay, now this is so cute. Look at
How old is he?
He's 8. So got him from the Humane Society, and we believe his son is in the other room. They came as a pair. So, yeah.
Aw.
Miniature poodle mix.
He's a cutie. Oh,
He disappeared.
so
There he is. Anyways, on with the show.
He's just kind of looking like, I didn't expect to be here tonight, but
No. He's like, I'm glad I got brushed out before I got on. So he's good to go.
Yeah. But this is what I love, this comment, because we do need to pay attention to what it feels like, climbing that ladder of success, because that is actually where the most fun is, getting to the top. So I like that.
It's true. Oh, I like what Pitt said about Minnesota's best coach.
What did he say?
Hayden Fox.
Okay. Hayden Fox was Minnesota's best coach by far. I don't know Hayden Fox.
It was a TV show called Coach.
I love watching Dober. Yep. He was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But
all right. Well, Fred, Nebraska Strong says you need to get your furry friend a Husker shirt.
We're working on it. We're going to probably get them jerseys, and we might have one be a 1 and the other be 5, so they can be 15 for Dylan. And then, and we did get Husker bow ties, but they never sit still long enough to actually see them. So if I get a picture, I'll definitely share it.
Oh my gosh. I got to see Tater in person.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've seen pictures of your dogs, but on the video, they're so dang cute.
Oh, they're characters. Yeah, they're something else. Happy we got them.
Oh, they look happy. Well, I guess, is that all the besmirching of Wisconsin that we're going to do tonight? Are we done with that?
That's all I got in me, I think. I'm fresh out of besmirch. So
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I mean, this has been fun.
Yeah, definitely. Happy to
Tell
be
your
here.
friends, your family, and the cashiers at Kroger about the magic that Minnie Hunt brings on Corn Nation Mondays and Thursday nights, all right here. And don't forget to tell the cashiers at Kroger about the magic she brings on After Dark on The Voice Calls Football Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Central Time.
Thank you, Jackson.
Well done.
I think I'm going to record that.
You should be on YouTube or something.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, everyone in chat. I hope you guys feel like it is a community here, because that's what we are here for, Monday Night Therapy. And we'll see you again next week. Until then, go Big Red.
See you, everybody.